In the rolling green hills of Ireland, where the whispers of ancient legends dance on the breeze and the misty mornings cloak the land in mystery, there lived a small community of dwarfs known as the Tuatha Dé Danann. Hidden from the eyes of humans, they dwelled deep within the heart of the Emerald Isle, in a realm untouched by time. Led by their wise chieftain, Finbar Stoneheart, the dwarfs thrived in harmony with nature, tending to their lush gardens and crafting exquisite works of art from the treasures found within the earth. Their underground halls echoed with the sound of laughter and song as they celebrated the wonders of life beneath the surface. One crisp morning, as the first rays of sunlight kissed the dew-kissed grass, a sense of unease settled over the dwarf community. Whispers of a looming threat had reached their ears, carried on the wings of the wind. Rumors spoke of dark shadows stirring in the depths of the forest, of a force that sought to encroach upon their peaceful domain. Finbar, his heart heavy with concern, called upon his most trusted advisors to seek counsel. Together, they gathered in the great hall, its walls adorned with shimmering crystals and intricate tapestries that told the tales of their ancestors. "We cannot ignore the signs any longer," Finbar declared, his voice resonating with determination. "We must prepare to defend our home for the safety of our people and the preservation of our way of life." With resolve in their hearts, the dwarfs set to work, forging weapons of polished silver and crafting enchanted wards to protect their borders. Each member of the community contributed their skills and knowledge, united in their determination to safeguard their beloved land. As the days passed and the threat drew nearer, tension hung in the air like a gathering storm. Yet amidst the apprehension, a spark of hope flickered within the hearts of the dwarfs. For they knew that together they were stronger than any adversary that dared to challenge them. At last, the fateful day arrived, shrouded in a veil of mist that cloaked the forest in an eerie silence. With weapons in hand and courage in their souls, the dwarfs marched forth to confront the darkness that loomed on the horizon. Through the tangled undergrowth they journeyed, their footsteps echoing in the stillness of the woods. And there, amidst the ancient trees, they beheld the source of their fears, a horde of shadowy creatures, their eyes gleaming with malice, advancing like a tide of darkness. With a mighty cry, Finbar led his people into battle, their blades flashing in the dim light as they clashed with their foes. The forest resounded with the clash of steel and the roar of magic, as the dwarfs fought with all their strength to repel the invaders. Though the struggle was fierce and the odds seemed insurmountable, the dwarfs stood firm, their spirits unbroken by fear or doubt. With unwavering resolve, they drove back their assailants, casting them into the depths from whence they came. Victory was theirs, but not without cost. Many brave dwarfs had fallen in battle, their sacrifice honored in solemn silence as the survivors gathered to mourn their loss. Yet amidst the sorrow, there burned a flame of triumph, the knowledge that their homeland had been saved, and that the spirit of the Tuatha Dé Danann endured unbroken. And so, in the heart of Ireland, beneath the watchful gaze of the ancient stones, the dwarfs continued to thrive, their bond with the land stronger than ever. For theirs was a legacy of courage and resilience, written in the annals of history for generations to come. So, let me tell you about the time I met a leprechaun in Ireland. Yeah, you heard me right, a leprechaun. I know what you're thinking, probably just a little guy in a green suit with a pot of gold, right? Well, let me tell you, this leprechaun was anything but your typical fairy tale character. I was wandering through the lush green countryside of Ireland, taking in the breathtaking scenery and enjoying the fresh air, when I stumbled upon a small, run-down cottage. Curiosity got the best of me, so I decided to knock on the door and see who lived there. To my surprise, the door swung open, and standing before me was a tiny man, no more than 3 feet tall, with a long white beard and a mischievous twinkle in his eye. He introduced himself as Seamus O'Flaherty, the last remaining leprechaun in all of Ireland. Now, I had heard stories about leprechauns before, but I never imagined I would actually come face to face with one. Seamus invited me inside his humble abode, which was filled with all sorts of magical trinkets and treasures. As we sat by the crackling fire, Seamus regaled me with tales of his adventures and mischief-making throughout the centuries. He told me about the time he tricked a group of tourists into thinking they had found his pot of gold, only to lead them on a wild goose chase through the forest. I couldn't help but laugh at his antics, and soon we were both in stitches, sharing jokes and stories late into the night. Seamus had a wicked sense of humor and a quick wit that kept me on my toes. But as the hours passed, I began to notice a sadness in Seamus's eyes. He confided in me that he was the last of his kind, and that the other leprechauns had long since disappeared, leaving him alone in the world. I felt a pang of sympathy for the little guy, and I knew I had to do something to help him. So I made a promise to Seamus that I would do whatever it took to ensure the survival of his kind, even if it meant embarking on a dangerous quest to find the lost leprechauns. Seamus was overjoyed at my offer, and he thanked me profusely, promising to guide me on my journey and share his knowledge of the mystical world. And so, we set off together, two unlikely companions on a quest to save the leprechauns from extinction. As we traveled through the enchanted forests and rolling hills of Ireland, Seamus regaled me with more stories of his past adventures, each one more outrageous than the last. I couldn't help but be amazed by his resilience and spirit, despite the hardships he had faced. And as we finally reached the hidden valley where the lost leprechauns were rumored to dwell, I knew that I had made the right choice in helping Seamus. Together, we found the missing leprechauns and brought them back to their homeland, where they could live in peace and harmony once more. And so, that is the story of how I met a leprechaun in Ireland and embarked on a quest to save his kind from extinction. It was a wild and wacky adventure, filled with laughter, tears, and plenty of magic, and I wouldn't have traded it for anything in the world.